Let's have the third evaluation. It's going to be done by Patti of Ghislaine's speech. Patti, over to you.
Thank you, Victor. And I'm actually going to quickly give a little bit of comment to Steve because I came back late for whatever reason. And then I'm going to go on to Ghislaine's. And so, Steve, I really like the way you started your speech with the opening. It always, with a question, it always engages your audience. You had really good illustrations with the rain dropping on your head. It's very difficult to have deliberate hand gestures when trying to hold a mic with one hand, but you did an awesome job. All of your hand gestures were definitely on point. I think that, you know, maybe you maybe even want to consider having a raincoat or a umbrella or something of that nature, so you had a bit of time talking about the rain. I love the quote at the end where you said, sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. I had not heard that before. So that also kept me very engaged with your speech. So job well done. And thank you for allowing me to do that. Okay, now on to Ghislaine's speech. You're welcome, Steve. On to Miss Ghislaine. Let me pull up some things here so I can stay on track and make sure that I keep up with my time. Ghislaine, thank you for your speech on Robot Next Door. I will begin my evaluation by focusing on the things that you did well. I'll transition to the things upon which you can improve upon, and then I'll wrap up with an overall review. You began by using body language. By standing up, you allowed your body to be able to use more hand gestures and the ability to move around a little bit. Your speech began by asking the audience to look to the left and then look to the right. And you didn't just ask them to do that, but you illustrated it with your body. This speech is all about body language and vocal variety. So I paid more attention to that than the actual content of the speech to see if you could actually excel in those areas. Shortly afterwards, you gave us an overview of the difference between human abilities and robotic abilities. Your stories about Sophia was very interesting. It was nice to learn that she was the first ever to be granted her legal citizenship amidst the Saudi Arabia controversial situation. You had very good vocal variety. Now, I will say that it was distorted just a little bit because it's hard. You know, some of the technological disadvantages is that when you're standing, you're not close to the mic. And so you would have to either turn your volume up on your computer or you have had to hold the mic to your mouth the entire time, which could also be a distraction. So I think that overall, you did as good as you could. I would say to work a little bit more on your speech and on your tone. In addition, you may want to rehearse your speech just a little bit more so you don't have to rely on your notes. I think that when you were moving forward, it was perhaps to read a couple of notes, but what that created was more than half of your speech, it's like the top part of your head was cut off. So I wasn't able to see the full body. Here are the areas you excelled in. I love when you started explaining the story about how the family wanted to have robot babies. The joy of having babies were evident in your voice as you slightly giggled when sharing the story. And then you even gave some nonverbal clues when sharing that story, when you gave a nice big smile. Your hand gestures were great when you started focusing on, you said, focus on what? And your hands opened very widely. I was intrigued that you gave the name to the robot company. I think you said it's the Handsome Robot Company, which lends us to believe that this company as a family would definitely have some handsome babies. Thank you so much for your speech and for allowing us to enter into a world of robots. We as humans never have to use codes or algorithms, well, for the most part. We just have to be who we are. Well done, Ghislaine.